It all begins with the scene. The first words of the second section of Virginia Woolf's quintessential essay, A Room of One's Own, opens us up to a world in which a woman is searching for answers. She asks herself, why did men drink wine and women water? And why was one sex so prosperous and the other so poor? Woolf ponders and analyzes gender roles within her greater society, which she likens to a machine. A machine that creates pattern and conformity amongst the people living within it. This woman, or the speaker of the essay, consults the British Museum in London to get definitive answers from social figures and educators with authority. She does not get either, but she instead has a revelation. The books immediately point out to her that no women have written on this subject of inequality, and that the men's opinions offer very diverse and misguided thoughts. The men in these books claim that women's weaker muscles, lack of hair, and, oddly, their love of children account for their natural subordination. How do they come up with these conclusions? Woolf says that gender roles have been for generations created by power-hungry and indulgent males like Lord Birkenhead or even the fabled Shakespeare. While she finds their opinions to be different, she objectively finds that they are all rooted in this weird addiction to possession. The speaker finds herself filled with anger and hot red in the cheeks with rage. She can barely control herself. She wants to write mean things. There was no basis for their comments, no real logic, and yet they were so passionate. After settling down, what this character discovers, and what Woolf is trying to assert, is that the discrimination of females is fueled by anger and insecurity caused by their relationships and pre-existing notions about womanhood. Transitioning, Woolf claims that all people need self-confidence to survive. They need to feel of worth and value. Many people find this quality by thinking, and I quote, that other people are inferior to them. Men do this specifically with women. Not just men of status, but all men. Poignantly, Woolf claims that women reflect the figure of men as twice its size. Men get their validation from their relationships with women. By domesticating them, they feel power. By supporting them financially or in other ways, men feel an essential feeling of control. However, the woman speaking finds herself in an odd scenario. She feels secure and safe from these prejudices because she has money. Her inheritance from a dead aunt has removed any pain or bitterness within her, as the essential struggles of life, such as finding food and shelter, are no longer an issue. And most notably, she does not have to flatter any man. She does not need a benefactor. Surprisingly, however, she does not blame the male gender as a whole. Woolf acknowledges that the patriarchs and professors also have endless difficulties. They have to deal with the constant nourishment of their ego and their own personal security, which she claims tears away at them like a hungry vulture. This is why men fight and kill to become lords, to wave their flags at the expense of others, just so they can feel good about themselves, and perhaps so they can have a legacy. And in this library, by acknowledging this fact, the woman finds truth. The truth, in return, resolves her anger. Outside the museum, she can look past the statue of the Duke of Cambridge and other men and instead focus on the blue sky above her and the beauty of the nature surrounding her. I guess you could say that she has been released out of the machine. Perhaps a bit too optimistic for Woolf's literature, but maybe that's personal opinion. Finally, she ponders the what if. What if women were no longer the quote-unquote protected gender? What would society be like with total equality? Would women die at work or fighting in war? Or would they thrive in progressive society? I personally think that these questions are being answered as time progresses, especially in my generation. It's hard to differentiate the perspectives between Woolf and the speaker in this essay, but it's clear that Woolf did not want there to be a difference. The speaker speaks for not only all women, but all people alike. A room of one's own, is about a truth seeker who finds truth, and ironically, she does it by reading what is false. Woolf and other modernist writers alike attempted to break the conformity of the machine, and in doing so, they deciphered many hidden truths.